Hey guys, Weekly Piano here, and I'm live again. I might try to do one of these every day for you because these are super easy. Um, to give you these little tidbits, today I'm talking about a practice schedule that you can create if you are very serious. This is for serious piano players who want to um, take their playing to the next level and are willing to dedicate time to it because um, you can't move forward without actually putting the time in. Something every day is great. I mean, if you can put 15 minutes a day in, that's amazing. But if you really want to push forward quickly and strongly, then doing like about 2 hours is good. So this channel, sorry, this this schedule is a little less than 2 hours. And whoops, I'm gonna silence my computer there. Okay, so I can see your comments if you want to make comments or questions while I'm describing this, please go ahead. Um, Now, this is from a lesson that I gave the other day, and we sort of figured out what this student was going to be doing with the 110 minutes that he could put in every day. And there are a few specific things that are um, very helpful. The first is listening. I would highly recommend picking a track that you love and listen to it like 5 or 6 minutes. Um, a lot of people don't do attentive listening anymore. They'll just listen in their car, listen in the background, but to embody the tenets of music and actually get better at doing it, um, at creating your own music that's deep and meaningful, it's good to listen to other deep, meaningful music. Um, Keith Jarrett is great for that. If you're a pianist, he's one of the most um, profound instrumentalists that is still recording right now. Thank God we still have him. Okay, so 5 to 6 minutes of that, and then mindfulness for 15 minutes. There are three exercises that I want you to do for mindfulness. The first, oh man, it's so weird. Um, just watching myself here on this live chat thing. Um, okay, so somebody said that they've watched my videos on modes, but they don't understand how to implement them while playing. So one of the later aspects of this practice schedule will help you with that. I'm going to stay on task with this practice schedule, but I'll try to remember to point out the thing that will help you actually use the modes that you're learning, because there's an element later in this video that will do that. So the first thing I want you to do is mindfulness. That is for for the first 5 minutes, I want you to just do a sitting meditation. I do this every day, um, and it's really, really helpful. I do more than 5 minutes actually, but if you'll just sit and not do anything, like you focus on your breathing, focus on your diaphragm, and when your mind starts to wander, um, just bring it back. Like pull your mind back to your diaphragm, and every time you do that, it's like a little exercise, like doing a pull up for your brain, that allows your brain to remember how to focus and how to stay on one thing. Because focus is one of the most important things for any pianist to have when they're playing. Um, the next is the note ringing exercise. So 5 minutes of this, where you press one note down and hold it, and you listen to it until it's completely gone. It'll take a little over a minute for one of those notes to fade out. And just listen to it, and when your mind wanders somewhere else, bring it back to the note, to the fading note. And then lift your hand up and with a relaxed hand, press the next note until it's done, and let it go. Do this for 5 minutes. You can set a little timer. There's an app called Meditation. I think it's just called the Meditation app. It has like a little Buddha figure sitting there. It's really helpful to have that because you can time 5 minutes and it'll just ding when it's done. It won't like keep repeating the timer like the natural iPhone timer does. So you don't have to press off every time. Um, the other is a freehand exercise, and this is where you just move your hands all around the keyboard and let them play and try not to control them. By the way, in my video on mindfulness that I did a couple of videos ago, I talk about those in more depth. All right, the next thing is musicality. So we're going to focus on an actual tune on the to help learn musicality for the next 30 minutes. So that'll fill up the first 50 minutes of the session. Um, A great one to start with is Autumn Leaves. For beginners, for beginners and intermediate players, it's helpful because it's just two 5/1s, one in a minor key and one in the relative major. Um, so be able to so spend this 30 minutes um, sequentially. You don't want to use the whole. You don't want to divide these aspects up within the 30 minutes, but use this 30-minute chunk to explore Autumn Leaves in these different ways sequentially over time. So for 30 minutes a day, for the first however many days it takes you, do um, do left hand comping. So you get your left hand chords for Autumn Leaves. And I'm not going to go into that now because I have other videos on it. So you can look up my videos on Autumn Leaves and it'll show you the left hand chords. Then, so be able to name the chords and play them perfectly. And then be able to play the melody. Um, and so on and so forth. Then be able to be able to do both of those two things in time to a metronome. And also, I would download the app Drum Buddy. It's a nice app. It has drum loops in it that you can use. They'll repeat and repeat, and they sound and swing really well. So if you play to that and focus on your swing feel, then also play to a metronome and cut out beats of the metronome. So first you're doing it on every beat, and then it's just doing it on every other beat, and then it's doing it on every measure, and then oh, thanks, Alex. Yeah, this is a good piano. It's a Yamaha C7. Um, so when the click is going, it will click only once every 2 measures by the time you're done with it, and it requires you to internalize the time and keep track of it yourself. By the way, I can extrapolate on any of these concepts if you want me to. Just mention it in the comments. Now, going on from there to do both of those things with the metronome and with Drum Buddy in those two different ways. Next is if you get that, so spend that half hour every day going through those, and once you're done within the context of that half hour, move it up a half step. So instead of, it's going to be, wait, what is going to be? And so on and so forth. And then do it a half step up and a half step up and a half step up. And this is in your 30-minute chunk to practice musicality for a tune, for a melody and chord changes. Okay, now for musicality, we're going to practice improvisation for the next 30 minutes. This is where you would dive into the exercises that I've gone into previously in different videos. Now, one of them is the octave exercise. So you constrain yourself, you limit yourself, and this is the only way. By the way, that's a very important thing to remember is when you're playing piano, the essence of non-musicality is non-limitation. So this is non-limitation. All the notes playing at the same time, right? There's no limitation. So the more you can limit yourself, the more musical you will be forced to become. And it becomes this method of portraying the language of your emotions and of your feelings through the music that you're creating. So let's limit ourselves to one octave. We're going to think of it in B flat because that's the relative major of the minor that the song is in. So the 5 to the 5 of the relative major, F to F. So it would sound like this. so on and so forth. I could go into it for a while. Um, but that's the idea. Stay within that one octave and do a solo within that. And you will notice the things that you do that are extraneous, and you'll have to cut them down because you can't fake your way through melody. You can't go beyond that octave. Um, the other is a rhythm exercise, and I'm not even going to show you this. Just watch the video I did with Ruslan Sirota about a week ago called "How to Solo" or "The Essence of Musicality" or something like that. It's a recent video that I have on here. Um, and then practice, excuse me, also practice goal notes. Um, oh, thank you for somebody said they love my live piano. um, you can check out my band Spirit Fingers if you look up other videos of that. That's the band that I play in, so you can hear my live piano on that. And I'll also check back here. I'll put up some more stuff. But so do the goal notes exercise. Now goal notes is where you have a single note, doesn't matter what it is, and you keep coming back to it. Now, it doesn't make that much musical sense, but it'll train your ear to keep coming back to a note. Um, and if you are curious, as somebody just said, on how they of which notes to play and which they can't, make sure you know the modes that you're in. So you start with the G natural minor mode, and the 2-5-1 that's in G goes to there. Actually, well, that's not total. It's so the G minor mode and the B flat relative major mode are the same mode. It's the same notes, so it doesn't actually matter which one you're thinking of. But those are the notes, like on this. You can use those on the whole keyboard as your like the trying not to speak in too advanced terms here, but um, the notes that will sound good no matter what. And then there are leading tones when you have a 5 to a 1 or a 5 to a 1, and then you can do enclosures. But it's all based on that same mode. So that's how you can know which notes you can play and which you can't, at least at the very beginning. It goes a lot deeper than that, but I'm not going to go that much deeper right now because I'm going to try to make this quick. So do the goal notes exercise, and then those 3 exercises compartmentalize the musicality portion. So you have 5 to 6 minutes of listening, you have 15 minutes of mindfulness, you have 30 minutes of musicality playing a tune, and 30 minutes of musicality improvising. And the final thing with the final 30 minutes of this 110-minute exercise is transcription. You need to transcribe something. Bill Evans has a really great version of Autumn Leaves. I transcribed that in college. I would highly recommend that you transcribe it and write it down in Sibelius. Go onto your computer and the piano might sound strange because I'm using earbuds right now so that you can hear my voice more clearly. So sorry about that, Rachel. Anyway, transcribe in Sibelius, write out the solo, and learn to play it at the same time. And what you will eventually do within the context of that 30 minutes every day as you progress, when you finish transcribing it, you will analyze it. So you'll look at the goal notes because Bill Evans is definitely using goal notes. He's using a lot of the other stuff, like somebody just asked about enclosures. I can show you an enclosure exercise. I mean, actually, to learn enclosures, all you have to do is just play the enclosures. If you're like pick the 3 of every chord and enclose that 3. So if I'm doing a 2-5-1 to B flat, I first enclose the E flat, which is the minor 3 of C, and then the 3 of the of F, and then I enclose the 3 of the 1. and then you can extrapolate upon that and put in filler, you know? You know, that sort of thing. That's a good enclosure exercise. Um, but anyway, so that makes up 110 minutes. Try this practice schedule and let me know if it works. But if you have questions, please put them in the comments. I will do my absolute best to answer all of them. And since I'm trying to do a video a day now, just as a live video, um, I might pick some of your questions to do live videos on also. Hope you've enjoyed. Sorry this can't go longer, and keep practicing. Thanks, guys. Bye.